Hi everyone, this is Mrs. MacPhee. So glad that you're using these videos to help you with your homework. It's my pleasure to help you even when we're not working together in class. Today is Thursday, October 2nd, and in pre-algebra we talked about how we can use scientific notation to actually make multiplication and division of large numbers simpler. So we're looking for some good shortcuts mathematically. And I did say I would do one of the homework problems. Again, we have these 8 on your worksheet tonight. And question number 1 came up. I'm really glad that came up because what I noticed in class was when some people started this problem, we might want to refresh with some of you multiplying by decimals. When you add or subtract, you line the decimals up. And in this problem, the decimals just happen to be lined up because they both have tenths, but that doesn't necessarily mean the decimal is going to follow through the problem. When you multiply your decimals, multiply your digits and kind of ignore the decimal until the very end. So we have 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 times 2 is 2, have our placeholder. 3 times 7 is 21, carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 6, plus the other 2 is 8. And we add it up, we get 7, 3, and 8. I saw some students bringing their decimal down, which is going to give you an incorrect answer. And if we look at these two numbers, 2 and 7/10 and 3 and 1/10, if I was to estimate 3 times 3, I'm going to get an answer around 9. So if I bring my decimal straight down to 83, that doesn't make sense. Sometimes you can use estimation to see if your answer is even logical. 83 would not be a logical choice because we're really just multiplying a number a little bit below 3 and a number a little bit above 3. What we need to do is, since there's two numbers behind the decimal in our problem, we need to have the same amount behind our decimal in our answer. So when we multiply our first two terms together, our 2 and 7/10 and our 3 and 1/10, we get 8 and 37/100. So that's our first step, to multiply our first terms. Our second step is just looking at your powers of 10. And we've been multiplying now with the same base for about 2 weeks. When we multiply with the base stays the same. And we can add our exponents. 10 to the 9th times 10 to the 2nd is going to be 10 to the 11th. Hope that helps a little bit with your homework. Make sure when you're working that you pay attention if the problem is multiplying, or in some cases you may be dividing, although I think tonight we're dividing here for 4 and 6 and 3. Most of them seem to be multiplication. Don't forget to read your word problems carefully. And then we also showed some examples, just like example 2. Make sure your answer for full credit is actually written in scientific notation. So you may have to adjust your first term and adjust your exponent to make sure that your final answer is actually in scientific notation. Notice in 1 through 6 to make sure your final answer is in scientific notation, and 7 and 8, make sure your final answer is in standard form. You're doing so well. It's a pleasure to work with you every day. Hope the homework doesn't take you too long. I will see you next class. Bye.